the weight of silence.
Late at night, I find myself staring at the ceiling. The bedside lamp is still on. I can't bring myself to turn it off. The room is quiet, but inside my chest, there's a storm. A small, relentless storm that won't stop. Beside me, Ethan sleeps peacefully. His breathing is slow and steady. He looks so calm, so content. I reach out and gently touch the edge of the sheets, gripping them between my fingers. This moment should feel safe. It should feel warm. But instead, there's this strange emptiness crawling beneath my skin. It started a few days ago. A scent, a perfume that didn't belong to me. It lingered in the hallway, faint but unmistakable. And then there was the envelope, slipped under the front door. No name, no return address, just a single photograph inside. In the photo, I was standing next to Mark. It was taken at the department store VIP event. I was simply doing my job, greeting a valued customer, but someone had captured that moment. Someone had been watching, and now someone wanted me to know. I exhale slowly, pressing both hands against my temples. If Ethan finds out, everything will collapse. Our marriage, our home, the life I fought so hard to protect.
The illusion of perfection.
5 years. That's how long Ethan and I have been married. 5 years of what everyone calls a perfect marriage. We have a beautiful home. We go on trips together. We laugh at dinner parties. People look at us and say, "You two are so lucky." But they don't see what happens when the guests leave. They don't see the empty nursery upstairs. They don't see the way I freeze every time someone asks, "So, when are you two having kids?" Ethan always smiles and says, "When the time is right." He squeezes my hand under the table, as if to say, "It's okay. We're okay." And I love him for that. I love him so much it hurts. But lately, I've been scrolling through social media more than I should. My friends post pictures of their babies, smiling toddlers, first birthdays, tiny shoes. And every time I see those posts, something inside me tightens. It's not jealousy, not exactly. It's more like a hollow ache, a reminder of what I don't have. I tell myself it's not my fault. The doctors say there's no medical reason. Just keep trying. They say it'll happen, but it hasn't happened. And every month that passes, the emptiness grows a little deeper. Ethan never complains. He never blames me. He looks at me with those kind eyes and says, "You're all I need." And that makes it worse, because I feel like I'm failing him, failing us.
The first mistake.
It was a Tuesday afternoon. I remember because Tuesdays are usually slow at the department store. I had some time to wander through the luxury section, just looking, not buying, just looking. That's when I saw it, a small keychain, designer brand, gold and leather. It was sitting on the display counter, gleaming under the lights. So small, so insignificant, and yet I couldn't stop staring at it. I picked it up. The weight of it felt good in my hand, solid, real. And before I could think, before I could stop myself, I slipped it into my pocket. My heart was pounding, but there was something else, too. A rush, a strange, electric thrill. For just a moment, I felt alive, not empty, not guilty, just alive. I walked out of the store, expecting alarms to go off, expecting someone to stop me, but no one did. No one even looked at me. That night, I held the keychain in my hand, sitting alone in the living room. Ethan was working late. The house was silent, and I felt it again, that fleeting sense of satisfaction, like I had filled a tiny hole inside me, even if just for a moment. I told myself it was a one-time thing, a mistake. I would never do it again, but I did.
The unraveling.
It became a pattern. Every week, sometimes twice a week, I would take something small, a scarf, a bracelet, a lipstick, nothing too expensive, nothing that would be missed. Each time, the thrill was there, but it started to fade faster. The satisfaction didn't last as long, and the guilt came quicker, heavier. I knew it was wrong. I knew I was spiraling, but I didn't know how to stop. It was like I was trying to fill a void that kept getting bigger, no matter what I put into it. And then, one day, he noticed.
Mark.
His name was Mark. He was the department store manager, tall, well-dressed, always smiling at customers. I had seen him around, but we'd never really spoken. Until that day, I was in the accessories section, slipping a small item into my bag when I felt someone watching me. I looked up, and there he was, standing a few feet away, arms crossed, eyes locked on mine. My blood ran cold. He didn't say anything. He just smiled, a slow, deliberate smile, and then he walked away. I stood there, frozen, my heart hammering in my chest. I thought about running. I thought about putting the item back, but my legs wouldn't move. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed. An unknown number. Meet me in the staff lounge now.
The trap.
The staff lounge was empty when I arrived. Mark was sitting on one of the couches, scrolling through his phone. He looked up when I walked in, and that same smile appeared on his face.
Emily, I'm glad you came.
He tilted his head, as if considering the question. Then he pulled out his phone and showed me the screen. It was a video, security footage, me slipping items into my bag. Not just once, multiple times.
I've been watching you for a while. You're good. Subtle, but not good enough.
Are you going to call the police?
No, not yet anyway.
Then what do you want? He stepped closer. Too close. I could smell his cologne, sharp and invasive. He stepped closer. Too close. I could smell his cologne, sharp and invasive.
I think we can come to an arrangement. You don't want your husband to find out about this, do you? Ethan, right? Successful, respected. I'm sure he'd be devastated.
How do you know his name?
I know a lot of things, Emily.
The first compromise.
I should have said no. I should have walked away, called the police myself, confessed everything to Ethan. But I didn't, because Mark was right. Ethan would be devastated, and not just because of the stealing. It would break him to know I had been hiding this, lying to him, falling apart while he thought everything was fine. So I agreed. I agreed to meet Mark, just once. I told myself, just to talk, to figure out what he wanted. But talking wasn't what he had in mind.
The descent.
The first time, I told myself it didn't mean anything. It was a transaction, a necessary compromise to protect my husband, my marriage, my life. But Mark didn't see it that way. To him, this was the beginning of something. He started texting me every day, asking where I was, what I was doing, telling me he missed me. I tried to keep my distance. I tried to set boundaries, but he always found a way to pull me back in.
You think you can just walk away?
His voice low and threatening.
I still have those videos, Emily, and I can send them to anyone. Your husband, your boss, the police.
I felt trapped, like I was drowning, and every time I tried to come up for air, he pushed me back under.
The guilt.
The worst part wasn't the fear, it was the guilt. Every time I looked at Ethan, I felt it crushing me. He would smile at me over breakfast, ask about my day, hold my hand while we watched TV, and I would smile back, pretending everything was fine, pretending I wasn't falling apart inside. I started avoiding mirrors. I couldn't stand to look at myself. The woman staring back at me was a stranger, a liar, a cheater, but I didn't know how to stop.
The breaking point.
After a few weeks, I finally found the courage to tell Mark it was over. I can't do this anymore, I said, my voice shaking. You have to let me go. He laughed.
Let you go? Emily, we're just getting started.
I'll tell Ethan everything, I said desperately. I'll confess. I'll deal with the consequences. But I'm done with you. His expression darkened.
You really think he'll forgive you? You think he'll stay with you after he finds out what you've done?
I didn't answer because I didn't know. Mark leaned in close, his voice cold.
You're not going anywhere, Emily. You're mine now.
The invasion.
That's when things got worse. Mark stopped waiting for me to come to him. He started showing up at the department store, near my house, at places I didn't even know he knew about. And then he started getting close to Ethan.
The VIP event.
It started with an invitation, a VIP event at the department store, exclusive clients only. Ethan received the invitation in the mail, embossed and elegant.
This is strange.
He said, holding it up.
I didn't know I was on their VIP list.
I felt my stomach drop. I knew exactly who had sent it. The night of the event, I considered faking an illness, but Ethan was so excited.
Come on, it'll be fun. We haven't gone out in a while.
So I went, and the moment we walked through the doors, I saw him, Mark, standing near the champagne table, dressed in an expensive suit, smiling like he owned the place. When he saw us, he walked over.
Ethan, right? Mark, I'm the manager here. I've heard great things about you.
Ethan shook his hand, surprised.
Have we met?
Not yet, but I've been looking forward to it.
I stood there, frozen, as they talked, as Mark laughed at Ethan's jokes, as he mentioned mutual interests, wine, investments, travel, and then Mark turned to me.
Your wife and I have crossed paths a few times. She's always so gracious.
I forced a smile, just doing my job, but Mark's eyes lingered on me a moment too long, and I knew this wasn't a coincidence. This was a move.
The wine club.
A week later, Ethan came home excited.
You won't believe this. Mark invited me to join his wine club. Apparently, it's pretty exclusive.
My heart sank. Mark,
Yeah, from the department store. Nice guy. We had a great conversation at the event.
I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell him the truth, but I couldn't, because if I did, everything would come crashing down. So I smiled and said, "That's great, honey." And I watched as Mark slowly, methodically, wove himself into our lives.
The confrontation.
At the next wine club meeting, Mark cornered me. Ethan was across the room, talking to another member. Mark leaned in close, his voice barely a whisper.
I miss you, Emily.
"Stop," I hissed. "Not here."
Why not? Your husband's right there. Maybe I should introduce myself properly.
"You already did," I said, my voice shaking. "You got what you wanted. You're in his life now. Just leave me alone." Mark's smile faded.
I'm not done with you.
"Well, I'm done with you." I tried to walk away, but he grabbed my wrist, not hard, but firm enough to stop me. "Let go," I said.
Not until you listen.
Is everything okay?
We both froze. Ethan was standing a few feet away, his eyes moving between us. His expression was confused, concerned. Mark let go immediately, his smile returning. Everything's fine, just talking shop. But Ethan's gaze lingered on me.
Emily?
I forced a smile. I'm fine, just tired. He didn't look convinced.
The suspicion.
That night, Ethan was quiet. Too quiet. We drove home in silence. When we got inside, he finally spoke.
What was that about?
What do you mean?
With Mark. At the wine club.
Nothing, I said quickly. He was just being friendly.
It didn't look like nothing.
I could feel the walls closing in. Ethan, please, I'm exhausted. Can we not do this right now? He stared at me for a long moment. Then he nodded.
Okay.
But I knew. I knew he didn't believe me.
The investigation.
Ethan didn't say anything more about it, but I noticed changes. He started looking at his phone more, taking calls in another room, coming home late. At first, I thought maybe he was having an affair. The irony wasn't lost on me. But then, one night, I saw a name on his phone, a name I didn't recognize. I Googled it later. It was a private investigator. My blood ran cold.
The truth unveiled.
It took 2 weeks. 2 weeks of me living in constant fear, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then, one evening, Ethan came home early. He didn't say hello. He didn't kiss me. He just walked into the living room, sat down, and placed a folder on the coffee table.
Sit down, Emily.
My legs felt like they were going to give out. I sat. He opened the folder. Inside were photos, receipts, text messages, security footage.
How long?
I couldn't speak. My throat had closed up.
How long have you been sleeping with him?
Ethan.
How long, Emily?
Tears streamed down my face. It wasn't what you think.
Then tell me what it was.
So I did. I told him everything. The stealing, the blackmail, the fear, the shame, the desperate, stupid choices I made to protect him. When I finished, he sat in silence for a long time.
The cold fury.
I expected him to yell, to throw things, to leave, but he didn't. Instead, he stood up, walked to the window, and stared out at the street.
I'm going to destroy him.
What?
Mark, I'm going to make sure he loses everything.
Ethan, you don't have to. He turned to me, and his eyes were cold. Colder than I'd ever seen them.
He blackmailed my wife. He manipulated her. He wormed his way into our lives like a parasite. And you think I'm just going to let that go?
I didn't know what to say.
I'm not doing this for you, Emily. I'm doing this because no one gets away with hurting what's mine.
The fall.
It happened fast. Within a week, Mark's life started to unravel. His promotion blocked. An anonymous tip revealed financial discrepancies in his department. His reputation shattered. Rumors spread about inappropriate conduct with customers. His job gone. Ethan never told me exactly what he did, but I knew. I knew he used every resource, every connection, every piece of leverage he had, and Mark didn't stand a chance.
The gift.
2 weeks after Mark disappeared from our lives, I started feeling sick, nauseous in the mornings, exhausted all the time. I took a test, and then another, and another. Positive. All of them. I was pregnant.
The reconciliation.
When I told Ethan, his expression changed. The coldness melted away. He pulled me into his arms and held me so tightly I could barely breathe.
We're going to have a baby.
He whispered. I nodded, tears streaming down my face.
This is what we wanted. This is our second chance.
And for the first time in months, I felt hope.
The shadow.
Mark sat in a cheap hotel room halfway across the world. The TV was on, playing a local news channel he barely understood. But then, He saw her, Emily, on the screen, smiling, holding Ethan's hand. The headline read, "Local couple expecting first child." He stared at the screen, his chest tightening. He counted back the weeks, did the math, and he knew. He knew there was a chance, a possibility, but he also knew he would never find out. He had lost everything, his job, his reputation, his life, and now he had lost her too. Meanwhile, in their cozy home, Emily sat in the nursery, one hand resting on her belly. Ethan was downstairs, humming as he cooked dinner. Everything seemed perfect, but late at night, when the house was quiet, Emily would lie awake, and she would wonder, whose child was she carrying? The question haunted her, because deep down, she wasn't sure, and she might never be.